We're in the overview section of a sample company. You can see that we've completed the sections of financial and valuation, and then we have a few sample increases in strategy. We have 5%, market dominating position in USP 5%. This is trust, expertise, and education 5%. Under leads, we gave 4% impact in leads, 10% in advertising, and then compelling offer 5%, initial close rate 19.7%, and you'll see below one more, Salesforce 21.55%. And this is actually an accumulative over several different areas of the Salesforce. Now the problem is many coaches and consultants, they don't know what to do first. And they might be tempted to think, oh, we're going to make a 10% impact in our advertising, or 19.7% in our initial close rate, or 21.5% in our Salesforce. So that's where we focus first. But let's go to our priorities button. We click on that, and you'll see now that there's the area of impact, the module, with the expected increase and the corresponding profit impact. But now we have a cost, and this is a relative cost. You'll enter a number between 1 and 5. You must have at least a 1 in there. This is your cost to implement. So if it's not going to cost you a lot to implement that, you put a 1. If it's going to cost you more, you might put a 2 or more. This is your time to implement in months. This is somewhat relative as well. If it's 1 month, of course, you'll put 1. If you're not sure how long, but you think it's going to take a long time, you'd put a 5. And now we do have some X factors in this as well. In our X factors, we have a market dominating position in USP has a 5X factor. And the reason is you might be tempted to advertise first, but because your market dominating position and your USP is the foundational element of your marketing, then wouldn't it make sense to think about that first and make sure that that is incorporated in all of your advertising and your marketing efforts? So that's a 5X factor. We've given a 4X factor to strategy and a 3X factor to compelling offer and your trust, expertise, and educational positioning. So now, as we go back, we've given each a number. We must click Save, and then we click the Sort by Priority button. You'll see that even though we only have a 5% expected increase with a market dominating position in USP, because of the X factor, we have significant number of points, 1,250 points there. Now, initial close rate has a 19.7% impact, but it costs a little more time to implement, and doesn't have an X factor, so it has a lower number of points. Same with advertising. We get a 10% impact, but it costs a lot more to implement, and so it has a lower number of points. So that prioritizes your implementation steps. You're free to change that priority if you like. You have to do that on your own. And then, of course, there's a little chart here that just lays out for you the priority steps. And each one of these is for Salesforce and for cutting costs is broken down into the separate areas. So Salesforce, like your sales manager or buyer's remorse or compensation or closing the sale, each has their own separate order of priority. But if you're going to work on that with a Salesforce, of course you can do them all at the same time, but that will be up to you and the wisdom that you bring to the process.